Hello, everybody. Happy New Year's.
Morning, Happy New Year,
Joe here.
Kevin.
Okay, the season 3 finale.
Yeah, I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, we finally we got to it. I'm hoping we see Richie this episode.
I feel like we will. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
Well,
Go ahead.
no, I think we will too. A lot of you guys on Patreon, you've been fantastic with
Oh,
spoilers.
the spoilers have been great. YouTube too. No one has ruined anything, and I love it.
I think a lot of you guys have hinted that this might be the episode. A lot of people are saying, "I'm excited for you guys to see who Richie is."
Right.
So I think this is it.
And I don't think that's much of a spoiler because we've been building towards this opera performance of The War of the Roses, right?
Yep.
And we know that both Richie and Bartlett are going to be there. So
Yeah.
I'm assuming we see who he is, and I would be really shocked if we didn't have a conversation between the two. Because we've been building up to the fact that there's going to be a lot of animosity
Sure.
in this run between Bartlett calling him stupid, in the fake hot mic moment, right?
Very intentionally too. Yeah.
And then that Sam getting tricked on that attack ad,
Yes. Yeah.
and it getting released. So I think there's enough hatred between the two guys,
Sure.
certainly between the two camps. There's been a lot of slamming of Richie, who we haven't seen yet, so it's all been one-sided, of course.
Yeah.
And I really feel like the way the conversations have happened, that he is, as you said before, going to be a George W. Bush type of character.
Yeah.
He's a governor of Florida, so he's a Southern governor like Bush was. Obviously not Texas like George W. Bush was.
Sure.
And that would be a little too on the nose, I think.
It would.
But
I like the subtlety of the show.
Right, but I do think that we've gotten into that time period. Aaron Sorkin has not been shy about what he thinks politically, and this is the heyday of the first run of George W. Bush.
It was. There was a lot of people in Hollywood that were kind of
right, and well,
sticking
there was just, and again, I'm not trying to pile on anybody or anything, but as the show's kind of pointed out, there was a lot of celebration of the idea of being dumb is cool at this time after W took over. It's like, he's just like us. He can't talk. This is the way the world should be, and our expectations of how people behave dropped a lot, just like they did during the Trump years.
I was just thinking that. Yeah.
When Trump became president, I was like, oh my God, this guy's a moron, and he's rich and president.
And people love it.
we can be racist again. It went weird, and I'm not, and again, I know that's reductive. I apologize for when I'm offending there, but we live in a city where, I don't know if you remember this, that almost immediately after the election, we made national news with the guy basically driving the gas station one. Remember that? The guy driving his motorcycle around the I think it was a black guy that was filling up his car, and he's like yelling Trump won, and cussing him out and stuff. Yeah. And it's like, wow, this just really emboldened some monsters.
It really did.
And I feel like that's kind of what we're going to get here.
So, I don't think Bartlett's going to lose the election.
For sure. Right.
I really doubt. It'd be really weird.
Like, look, the show's over. We lied to you about there being more seasons.
Yeah. Or like the show just takes a different direction. So yeah, I want to see who the face of this person, because they made a big deal out of it, and I think they mentioned him. Did they name drop him in season 2? And I think it was just season 3, beginning of the season.
I think it was the beginning of the season.
Because we're binging, it just kind of you forget.
It's hard because we don't take a break in between seasons, right? But yeah, I do think it was this season where Toby and Bartlett are talking.
Yeah.
And they name drop, like, he might be the nominee too. And Toby, I remember Toby and Bartlett were like, people are saying he might be the nominee, but what do we know? And Toby's like, we know he's going to be the nominee.
Yeah.
Bart's like, yeah, he is.
That was a great moment.
And, it was the show's so full of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we've been building to this, and I love the fact that it's almost like Jaws, right? It's like we have this oppositional force, right?
Yeah.
But we don't get to see him until the show's really ready to let us see him. Yeah, it is.
It's a lot of pressure. And for my money, I've loved season 3.
Oh, I have too. I really have too.
I didn't go in with low expectations, but we came off of one hell of a season with season 2.
Yeah, and a lot of viewers, which is totally reasonable, said that season 2 is their favorite.
Yeah, of course.
And when somebody says this season is my favorite,
sure,
that means potentially a drop off in the next one, right? Just logistically.
And that lowered my expectation.
And I didn't see a drop off.
I didn't either. And
at all.
Each episode I went into, I was like, okay, maybe this is when it starts to fall off.
Right.
This is when. And then each episode, I was so pleasantly surprised. My favorite episode of the show was in this season, and I'm just ready for a big crescendo.
Well, sure. I mean, we've been building a lot of storylines, not just meeting Richie, but we have the thing with CJ. Right, CJ and Mark Harmon, where somebody is threatening CJ's life. Yeah, we've got the bodyguard kind of going on.
They almost kissed.
Yeah, they did.
I was like, I kind of wanted them to do it too. I was like,
I think they will by the end of the episode. Maybe it's my romantic side and knowing just how sentimental Sorkin can be.
Yeah,
I expect them to.
You know what? The Bodyguard's on Prime. I watched it last week after we watched the episode just because I need to scratch that itch. I'm like, I need to see this happen.
Right.
I need to see some romance between a bodyguard, someone who's protecting.
Sure.
I know it's a dumb storyline. I get it, guys. It's not realistic, so to speak, but it's good television.
It was a big hit, that movie too.
I know, yeah.
That movie was a monster hit. Helped out a lot
by my mom's favorites.
Yeah, helped out a lot by a soundtrack that people really responded to.
Yeah,
that song, Dolly Parton song cover.
So we're gonna hop into this episode, guys. Our expectations are pretty high, honestly, and I think all we really want to see from the episode is Richie and some sort of finality.
I feel like that we've got big things in this episode.
Yeah,
that we have not been let down. I mean, we've not been let down in either finale thus far. They've both been massive.
Now they've got big shoes to fill because season 2's finale was incredible.
Two cathedrals.
It
was amazing.
R.I.P. Lanningham.
Yeah. We do want to go ahead and welcome Madeline, Curtis Higueredas, Mariah Wilson Barome, KS Wheels, and Jenna Jaggers. Thank you so much for being with us, guys. We very much appreciate you being here on our Patreon page.
Really, really do. And if you guys are watching us on YouTube for the first time, welcome to our channel. If you'd mind hitting the like button for us, leave us a comment down below and hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on the new content we've coming your way.
Yeah, if you'd like to see a full-length reaction to this and everything else we've watched or currently watching, please check out a link in the description below to our Patreon page. Yeah. We are several episodes ahead of The West Wing over there, so by the time you're seeing this, we are into season 4. If you want to jump over there and take a look, I think we're 5 episodes ahead on Patreon of The West Wing. We're also watching 30 Rock right now as a Patreon exclusive. We're just now beginning The Good Place. You will need to sync and watch along on your own device or streaming service. You're only going to see and hear us because of copyright rules. We cannot show the show. We cannot share any of the audio. So, yeah, there's no way around it. We're also watching 30 Rock.
It's weird to think that by the time they're seeing this on YouTube, we'll be into season 4.
Yeah, a couple episodes in. Yeah. Maybe it's one of the things where they catch the guy and then they can date because he's not on her detail anymore.
That's true.
We understand that a presidential motorcade rolling through Midtown Manhattan at around 6:30 really helps keep things well lubed up there.
How much of at least the summer plans for the campaign depends on winning the vote?
I'd go beyond that. I'd say the future of the entire world depends on it.
Why is the president leaving an hour later?
He scheduled a last-minute meeting.
With who?
Somali Defense Minister Abdul Sharif.
He doesn't know. He's still coming. What a great reveal on the fact that he's still coming. So he's going to meet the guy, and then they have to decide if they're going to actually let him leave.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, this is a good setup.
That was, the use of handheld in that.
That was really cool.
Was brilliant.
Fitz. The White House cancels a meeting at the last minute. He's going to have somebody tasting his food for a month.
First one being the National Security Act, which says basically that only the president can trigger a covert action.
It can't be military.
Why?
The Posse Comitatus Act of 1878 prohibits the military
from
civilian law enforcement. He's flying back tonight in his Gulfstream. The pilot will be one of our people. They'll experience a mechanical failure about 90 minutes into the flight.
We'd like you to give him this.
It's a bomb.
What does the pen do? It squirts poison.
It's got a small recording device in there.
We're gonna win the vote.
We'll see.
We will, but we're gonna. I have a 9-vote margin.
I think you're gonna lose Burnett, Bristol, and Keith.
Call off the hunt, and I'll see to it that you guys can make up with the White House.
Why?
Because we're gonna win.
I think there's trouble with your phone line. We kept getting disconnected.
Is that Lily Tomlin?
I hope you don't mind. I just drove on.
Is it?
No, yes.
That is Lily Tomlin.
I was hanging up.
I would love it if she's Mrs. Landingham's replacement. That would be amazing. That would be amazing.
Miss Fitterer, you've worked as executive assistant to Terrence Hunt, managing editor of Gannett News. Jack Kent Cook, former owner of the Washington Redskins.
I'll admit I got off to a rocky start.
What'd you try?
Gambling.
Didn't work out.
No, but all that's changed.
Because now
I'm
you're
an alpaca farmer. I was fired from the White House, Charlie.
I know you were.
Anthony, this is Miss Craig.
Hi.
I think it's possible for Anthony to get a souvenir he could give his mom.
Sure it is.
Does he know this guy?
Nephew?
No, I'm a big brother. We've been together about 3 years.
Are you good?
That's awesome.
That is.
I'm not allowed to kiss a protectee.
Who's trying to kiss you?
You did.
No, I didn't.
CJ, I'm trusted with a serious job.
There's also singing.
It's a musical.
The chorus is, "And victorious in war shall be made glorious in peace."
It's morally questionable.
I intend to commit a crime. You're required by law to report it.
The president should meet with Richie tonight.
That's not going to happen.
They should walk in the door together. They should go in a room and talk, and then they should watch the play.
Because it elevates Richie to the same level as the president. Yeah.
Other women supposed to train for life after welfare when they're required to work 38 hours a week.
Forget the work requirements. It's the marriage incentives.
All right. These are 3 no votes, right?
I would personally like to congratulate you, Mr. President, on the renewal of your 10-year lease on the airbase in Territ.
Ooh, do it. You have to do it.
Not in the Oval Office.
Yeah, he shouldn't have done that. That guy knows there's something up.
Governor Ritchie looks forward to meeting with the president tonight so we can talk about the federal government's plan for the Everglades, which would tax sugar farmers into unemployment.
The president would love to meet with Ritchie, but he's going to be busy tonight passing a vote.
That's being hung up by the Florida delegation. Josh?
I took a pill.
Why?
Because I was a little nervous about coming back to the White House.
You took a pill?
I took a couple. I'm an alpaca farmer.
Like the sweaters?
Before they're sweaters.
Before that?
Craps and blackjack.
Charlie!
I guess I got pretty well doinked.
Yes, sir.
Can I have a minute?
Yes, sir.
Would you mind waiting outside just a moment? If it's a joke, it's both funny and well executed. But I think you and I both know that it's not.
In the military, posse comitatus.
Name of the episode.
You're killing Sharif.
When does the president give the green light?
At the last possible minute.
I think I'm going to have news for you in a few minutes. Is that right? Yeah.
I've spent my adult life protecting people. You're the first person who's got me seriously thinking about switching sides.
I'm sorry you feel that way. I think I've been a treat.
I say, there are times when it seems like you like me.
I do like you.
And then you just walk off to stick it to me and forget the personalities.
They've got him.
The honeymooners.
What do you mean?
We have him in custody. It's him.
There it is. Yeah. Thank you.
Yes. Cue the Whitney Houston.
The thing is though, you don't have Mark Harmon on for the run of the show, so what goes wrong here?
Yeah.
Like, never mind. My job's too important.
He probably gets assigned somewhere else.
That's true, right? Yeah.
He's at the Yankee game right now?
Local news covered it.
Are we not getting
this was
Richie?
how ordinary Americans got their entertainment. He's coming at intermission.
Well, I'm not sure that suits me.
I know
It is a 5.5 hour flight.
President.
there was an incumbent president. His staff sent his motorcade into a district that was heavily favored by his opponent in order to tie up traffic.
I'm so...
It's in a presidential motorcade to shut down the traffic between the Yankees game and there.
That's funny.
Hey, did I put too much pressure on you with the vote?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, that's how you had to win this one.
She's gonna get
Your
fired?
job's really in jeopardy?
Yeah. No, she'll lose it for sure.
What is it with you and this woman? She hired me. That's why she was fired.
Oh.
No, I mean, I'm going to buy this. How much is it?
No, it's okay.
No.
Oh, he's being. Oh no, no.
He's being robbed.
Oh my God.
Don't move at all. I'm a
Oh,
federal
okay, good,
officer.
good.
Don't reach. I'm Secret Service. You know you'll never get there.
Secret Service agent walking in the middle of an armed robbery? That's just bad luck. Sir, I hate to be a problem customer, but if I don't get a Milky Way bar pretty soon.
It sucks so much.
I know. Poor CJ.
Just about to say exactly the same thing.
Poor CJ.
She doesn't know.
Oh,
this song. Yeah.
If somebody's made a mistake, he was just on his way to the field office.
I did not see that coming whatsoever.
I did not either. It's all gotten so
Were you
dark.
given a chance to get the votes you needed by setting up a meeting with Richie?
I'm not a dating service.
I congratulate you for punishing poor women as a symbol of the strength of mainstream values.
That's not what we did.
Honey, Simon Donovan was shot and killed.
Well, it's just...
We can make it look like the plane went down, but they're gonna find out it's us. And I'm gonna be running for re-election while I'm fighting a war against Kumar.
I don't always know the right thing to do, Lord, but I think the fact that I want to please you pleases you. But you have to do it anyway.
Why?
You're good?
Because you won.
Mr. President.
Governor.
James
Brolin.
Are you joining the play?
I am.
It's a baseball game. It's how ordinary Americans...
Yeah. The center fielder for the Yankees is an accomplished classical guitarist. People who like baseball can't like books. He walked into the middle of an armed robbery and was shot and killed after detaining one of the suspects.
Crime.
Boy, I don't know.
What does that mean?
I don't.
Pithy.
Yeah.
We should have a great debate, Rob. We owe it to everyone.
How many different ways you think you're gonna find to call me Tom?
Well, you did just say crime, I don't know.
Yeah.
But you turn being unengaged into a Zen-like thing.
You're an academic elitist and a snob. You're Hollywood. You're weak. You're liberal.
This guy sucks.
Yeah. Brolin's kind of killing this, though.
Mm-hmm.
The future, if you're wondering, crime, boy, I don't know.
Yeah.
Is when I decided to kick.
Yeah. Well, he's right. That's such an idiotic response. Only 2 guys in the Situation Room for it. Yeah, we're straight up seeing this, aren't we?
Yeah. Unless.
That's a really good comparison. It's like Triumphant in War. And this is more covert. Yeah. It's the song he wanted to hear. He's not hitting the same as he expected it to.
No. That was a brilliant final shot. This is the best season.
That was a great finale,
This is the best show of all time. This is the best season of all time. Like, that was incredible. Oh my god, that was incredible. Like, I'm so pumped up right now from such a dark moment. I realize that's weird, but that was amazing. Like, that was incredible.
I mean, I can see why the season 1 and season 2 finales are so big. Like, I get it. They're both great. But everything from this season converged all at once at the end there. And that can't be easy to do, you know?
No. And I didn't expect it to go this dark. This is certainly, look, the first season was very dark. Even season 2 with Miss Lanningham, like that was so dark. But this managed to go darker.
Well, especially since tonally this felt like one of the lighter episodes for the first half of it, you know? Like the first 2 acts.
Boy, were we naive.
Yeah, you got the, Toby and Sam kind of playing their little game, and with Richie, and you've got Josh and Amy kind of having their battle over the bill, which seemed the darkest thing, apart from the assassination buildup.
Yeah.
Then of course CJ's romance, but
tragic romance.
Yeah. But man, did it take a turn, and everything that we've been waiting for kind of converged at once with the reveal of Rob Ritchie, who everything that we've thought he was going to be, from the conversations between Toby and the president, he was right. He was terrible. He is unengaged. He doesn't seem intellectually curious at all.
No,
that crime boy, I don't know, was just like. What a vapid thing to say in the face of a tragedy, you know?
Okay, so I was wondering, we're going to talk about this for a minute, guys, so bear with us.
Yeah.
So stick around. But I was wondering about that. I was like, how are they going to convey the fact that this guy's an idiot without it coming off as like...
Overly schlocky?
Yes.
Like, he didn't like walk into a wall or anything?
Yes.
Or not able to open a door, which actually happened to George W. Bush once.
My favorite GW moment is when he's like, now watch this drive.
Yeah.
But no, I was like, okay, so let's look at the writing of all this, right? So in order to get that line delivered, they had to finish CJ's storyline.
Right.
They had to have Mark Harmon die at that point in time.
Yeah.
To have that line hit the way that it hit.
Show don't tell, right?
Exactly.
Brilliant writing of show don't tell,
and
there.
It's a perfect example of all these storylines that you think have no connection to one another converging into one.
Yeah, and I like the fact that the guy wasn't just a dumb weasel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get a guy like James Brolin, who is a titan of an actor, right?
Sure.
And the guy isn't intellectual. He doesn't have the gravitas that that they were talking about, that Toby was talking about before in a presidential candidate.
Yes.
Or Sam. Sorry, it was Sam that was talking about him not having gravitas. But he still has presence, which makes him believable as a successful politician, right?
Yeah.
You still got to be an engaging guy that people want to like and want to vote for.
Yes.
And I feel like they nailed it. We get to see him having strong presence, and fitting that mold of I'm the tough American.
Yeah.
While also like there's not a lot going on in the brain there at the same time, right? And that's hard to pull off in the writing and in the execution. And James Brolin's a perfect choice. Also, kind of funny that he's playing a George W. Bush knockoff. His son played George W. Bush
I forgot
in an Oliver Stone movie.
I think we referenced W on the show before, but
we did because I think we might have guessed of Josh Brolin, not James, but Josh Brolin is a possibility. Like it'd be pretty funny because he played W before.
Yeah.
it was a joke
I
because it was
Richard Dreyfuss as well.
Yeah,
he
yeah.
played Cheney.
But
he played Cheney.
Yeah, James Brolin makes perfect sense.
It really does, and I didn't even think about James Brolin. Obviously,
no, I didn't either.
It's super accomplished. I mean,
yeah, he's had a long career.
I love Amityville Horror. I watch that every the original one. I watch that every
right.
Halloween. But he's had a bigger career than that. He's been in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but remember how perfectly smarmy he was in Catch Me If You Can.
Yeah,
you know, and it's like, of course he's perfect for this role.
He's a fantastic character actor.
Yeah, he
is. I'm glad that we're going to get him in the next season. I mean, even if it is just for a season.
Right.
And Lily Tomlin is going to be in the show.
Oh my God, that was so great! I really hope that she becomes a cast member.
I too. It seems that way.
I mean, you don't need her every episode, right? Like even when Mrs. Landingham was on the show, she wasn't in every episode. You don't need her in every episode. But yeah, you can have her pop in when you need her, and it's Lily freaking Tomlin. You know what I mean? She is I think a multi-Emmy award-winning performer.
She is. And the final moments of the show with this this assassination playing out,
which was also well done. Man, the production value on this one, they took it up a notch, even for them.
I'm assuming that the show was doing very well this whole time.
Yeah,
so
right. It's rolling. They were sinking like HBO level money into it.
You want to shut down Times Square? Let's do it. You know, and also like the moment of CJ walking through the crowd of people and she gets knocked over.
Yeah, that the guy that bumped into her while she was crying.
My guess is that's a real person.
It might have been, but it really it got me. You know what I mean? Just seeing her like. I know it's like a physical embodiment of what she's feeling, but it's just seeing her take the hit. You know, it's just like, oh my God.
Because most of the time, and like, if you watch any New York film from like 70s, 80s, like obviously that was a huge location for movies. They didn't necessarily shut it down.
Right.
They just kind of filmed. And so
I'm assuming that wasn't just a regular guy in the street that walked in front of the camera, but I'm assuming that was a stuntman or an extra.
You never know because Pacino's done it several times in films where people just walk by. They do a trick where you kind of pull the focus off the crowd, so obviously people are staring.
Sure. Right. Every time. Yeah.
Yeah. So
behind the barriers. Yeah.
There's a way to kind of finesse that.
Sure.
But no, that song gets me every time. The Hallelujah song.
Yeah.
Even in Zack Snyder's Justice League, it got me. But not because of the film, but because apparently
Zack Snyder's used it, and he used it in Watchmen too. I think he uses that one a lot.
Well, when his daughter passed, they played that at her funeral.
Oh, okay.
And he put that in the film for her, and that even got me then. You know, but especially this episode though, like. The randomness of it, the randomness of it all, the fact that he was just going to buy a Milky Way, and some flowers, and
just like, by the way, the world can be a cruel place. This guy's doing this really dangerous job, and he doesn't die doing the dangerous job. He dies walking into a grocery store, basically.
He died, intervening and doing the right thing. You know?
Right.
But man, and we knew too right away something was going to happen. Because
they were lingering on it. I'm like, there's no way. Why are we seeing this?
It's fantastic tension.
Yeah, it is.
That is filmmaking at its best, you know? And back to the hits being sanctioned and carried out.
Right.
Very Godfather-esque. I like that they did not go full-blown Godfather, like he wasn't at church or something.
Sure, right.
But to have that song playing while this is being carried out and we just see Bartlett's silhouette, like, he doesn't want to do this.
And by God, tonally, doesn't that really set up the election fight between Richie and Bartlett so well for the beginning of next season?
Yeah. Now that it's personal too.
Like, like we knew that there was animosity going in. It'd been building all season.
Yeah.
But my God, I mean, what a way to execute that character in the writing and the performance to really make you not like Richie, you know? Kudos to James Brolin, but man, in the way that he, and I know Bartlett was being smug when he's like, the fact that you don't seem to really care is that that's kind of why it may seem like I don't like you, because you don't seem to really care about the job. You just seem to want to do it.
Yeah.
And then Richie's comeback of "I hate you for everything," was like, it was just like, okay, so now it's on. And Bartlett's response was perfect.
And in 3 minutes, maybe they got us to hate him too. Less than 3 minutes. It was like a minute and a half, 2 minutes.
It was incredibly well done.
Yeah,
and you get James Brolin and Martin Sheen together to just execute this scene so well and to get all that across.
I'm trying to think if they've worked together before because
can't think of anything.
I can't think of anything either. But I mean, they just. I mean, I'm sure they knew one another. They came up around the same time.
Yeah.
But I like that we have an actor from the same generation, the same caliber of actor.
Yeah.
Definitely not a TV actor, even though he's been on TV shows.
Their kids work together? I know they were both kind of brat packers. All three of them were kind of Brat Packers.
No,
if Charlie, Emilio, or Josh ever worked together, I can't
Josh
think of anything.
The Goonies.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna do an IMDb.
Yeah, for sure.
IMDb deep dive after this. But yeah, I can't pick a favorite moment from this episode because all of it was so well done and it was
beat
just
to
so damn
beat.
good.
And man, just we were talking about this with Schitt's Creek, how they can really balance the tone from beat to beat to beat, even when there's wild swings in tone, it all flows so well and is executed so perfectly.
Sure.
They did that so well in this episode, right? We had such nice moments of levity. I mean, you have a hilarious Lily Tomlin scene in an episode where Simon gets killed at the end of the episode.
I was thinking
in the same episode.
I was thinking to myself, we're gonna get a nice finale. We've had dark
so.
finales
Right,
for the last 2 seasons. Oh, maybe we'll get a nice one. And then when the pen dropped,
right?
Oh my god!
But see, that's what I thought. It's like the pen's going to drop somewhere. I thought it was going to be the execution was going to get screwed up, and then
kind of, yeah.
And then everything was going to break loose after that. Yeah. That's where I was like, they're going to screw up this execution. It's going to be public, or they're not going to do it, or Bartlett's going to call it off, and then the guy's going to do something horrible. Yeah, exactly. And like, there's some way that this is going to go wrong, and that wasn't it.
Yeah.
Man, they nailed it.
What I'm interested now going forward is the fallout from this, the emotional fallout, the actual fallout. I mean, like, what's going to happen with this is a fictitious country he's coming from, right?
Yeah. Kumar's not
Kumar. Yeah, that's what it is. Kumar. I couldn't think of the name. Are they going to go to war over this?
Bartlett seems to think so. Yeah,
he's going to be in the middle of an election. I wonder if the show will cover that because there's an actual war happening at the time of the show.
They might, instead of the fact that we don't really have the post 9/11 Gulf War.
Sure,
maybe we do get at least some of. And I know it's not going to be heavy because as a lot of our viewers have said, he didn't want the show to turn into the Gulf War show, even though that's what was going on in the world. So I don't think it'll be that level, but a little bit of like, now this thing's happening. Might be a thing.
It's kind of on us
right
at this point in time. Yeah. You know what I mean? Also. CJ's fallout.
Yeah, I think we're going to get a shell of CJ moving forward, at least for a while.
Because and she's trying to do her job and cover whatever's happening in the Middle East and cover
this horrible personal thing just happened to her. Yeah.
And then we throw Richie in the mix, which my guess is we're not going to see him right away in the next season. They'll probably bring him in 6 episodes in.
Right. I don't think he's going to like. We're for sure, it sounds like, going to have debates, right? Because Bartlett even referenced them here.
Yes.
So I think we're going to get at least a debate episode between Richie.
Love to see that.
Those two guys,
love to see it.
Martin Sheen and James Brolin doing a debate off on stage. That would be amazing.
And that's going to be the real payoff too, because like he says, I want to kick your, that's when he's going to get the chance to do it.
Yeah, I think it's going to happen. I think we're going to see the debate, and I think we're going to see, because we set it up right with Toby, make it between capable and not, smart and not. I can't remember the words that he used, but I think that's what we're going to see in the debate. I think we're going to see them get on stage, and what's going to end it, because we know Bartlett wins. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I want to see Martin Sheen bury him on stage.
And
intellectually,
I think so. Richie's a threat.
Yeah, he is,
and I think that it's going to get close. I think there's going to be a lot of tension in the fact that there might be a moment where they think that Bartlett could actually lose.
Oh, for sure. It's going to be close.
And I want to see how he wins the American people over. I want to see if I don't think this president would stoop lower than he is, because he's obviously so smart and so capable. But I want to see what the rallying cry is for people to get behind him, or people to see that James Brolin's character is really just a moron.
There might be a big thing that they get behind him. You're right. I expect there to be a one-sided debate at some point.
I fully anticipate Richie getting destroyed by Bartlett.
Right, and I don't know where that's going to be. I don't know where the election's going to be in the season. I don't know if it's the end of season 4 or if it's in the middle somewhere, because I thought it was going to be in season 3. We thought all along.
Yeah, we did.
This season was going to be election season, and next season we moving on.
Yes.
We thought that's what this season was going to be about, was re-election. We were wrong on the timing. We're still in the middle of it, but I don't know if we go the whole next season in campaign mode. 20-something episodes seems long. Maybe we do.
I mean,
maybe a mid-season finale is an election or something, right? Yeah.
I mean, the first 4 episodes of this season, kind of set up season 4 for being the debate season. I feel, or the election season. I would feel.
Yeah, it has now, right? The last couple episodes,
because that was kind of what they were focused on the first 3 episodes, or at least first 2, not including the Isaac and Ishmael episode.
Yeah, well, I mean, they've hinted at Richie all the way along, but we didn't really get into campaign mode until
we saw
2 episodes
Bruno
ago.
and Doug
Right? Yeah,
and all
yeah,
that, you know?
yeah. I mean, it's there in the background, but I feel like it's been in the background because remember, there are a lot of times in this episode it's like we'll talk about the campaign in the fall, like in the press, we'll deal with the campaign in the fall,
Yeah.
which let's face it, in 2023,
it's now.
yeah, campaign season is like a year and a half now. There is no time people are off from campaigning anymore.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm excited because obviously this year's an election year.
Right.
I'm kind of excited to watch this show while that's going on.
It's kind of cool, right?
It's going to be interesting
as we're seeing attack ads and super PACs doing their dirty thing and everything that we're going to get.
And lest we forget, this season 4, I believe, is Sorkin's last season.
I think that's what people have said that this is the end of Sorkin
Rob
on the
Lowe
show.
leaves the show as well.
Yeah, honestly, I've heard that the show that like some people think there's a fall off, but some people don't. So we'll see.
That's what people said about season 3, and this was my favorite season.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. I expect to like the show all the way through.
Yeah,
that's just me. Because I mean, they didn't go 7 seasons because they didn't know what they were doing.
No,
my bigger thing is like, well, what do you do without Rob Lowe? Because he's such a moral center. It'd be like like Adam Scott if he left Parks and Rec halfway through.
Yeah,
it's like
Rob Lowe left Parks and Rec too.
Right? But yeah, it'd be kind of like losing the moral compass of the show a little bit. Like
a little bit, yeah.
I don't know if they replace him with somebody else. I guess we'll see.
I'm assuming they do, right? Because it'd be kind of weird. Because it'd be weird if it was just Toby.
Right. Yeah. Well, no, I mean, there's going to be a person to fill the job.
But like,
but are they going to? Are they right? Exactly.
Sure.
Or are they going to be somebody like Ainsley that pops in every once in a while? Are they going to be a central cast figure? Is it a big actor? I honestly have no idea.
Do they just focus on something else for a while?
Right.
Which you could do.
Sure. But I mean, we're getting ahead of ourselves. We've got a lot to cover before that in this 4th season.
I'm just
obviously,
so excited from this. This was a great freaking episode.
It did, and it set up a lot of possibilities moving forward, didn't it?
It really did, man. Hats off to the show. Hats off to Aaron Sorkin, Martin Sheen, Mark Harmon, CJ, Allison Janney, everybody on the show. Hats off to all of you guys. I know you're not going to see this, but this was incredible.
Yeah. And hats off to the people that watched it on live television that had to wait a year or several months at least before they got to continue on. We just have to jump in next week.
I know, and I'm so excited for that.
Yeah, we'll catch you in the next one, guys.
See ya.